is season 2, Oos. Day 1 is season 2, Oos. Day 1 is season 2, Oos. Day 1 is knocking all them other podcasts out like this.
That's me.
Yeet. Oh.
Yeet. What it do is we back with season 2. It's the undeniable, reliable, the one and only. Trigger Trey Knight in the building.
Don't do that again. Don't do that again.
He said, don't do it again.
Hey, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not Blackout Jones tonight. I'm Thomas Jones.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
I'm
Look,
still
somebody else gonna get a cease and desist in the mail.
Yeah, he ain't lying. I'm still Mr.
No,
You know what it is. You know what this is.
I don't know what that is.
We don't know what that is, so we're not, sir. That
you better know what it is.
wow.
Y'all
already know who it is. It's your boy Carlito the Cannon. Sir, wait, whoa, no.
Oh, do it again.
I'm not even gonna do it again now because
Cannon.
y'all see what I deal with. It's just
I didn't mess it up. I just added a little snaz to it.
No, it would no. Whoa, yeah, whoa. Y'all already know what it is. Rest the Beyond the Bell podcast. Welcome back to season 2, fellas. What's we had a lot going on, man. There's been a lot going on this year already. We're already in April and we just now getting back, man. We've had some lives come in, we've had some deaths come, we've had sicknesses. We got what, 2 weddings coming up?
Yeah.
We got 2 weddings coming up this year, boy. It's been a lot. So dog. We do appreciate y'all standing by, standing strong, still supporting, wondering. I got a phone call last night. So are y'all coming back like ever? We back. Back like we never left.
Guess who's back? I'm not gonna finish that part.
Song right.
Beyond the Bell podcast.
BTB.
Them
1,
and
2,
me.
3.
We here.
For shizzle.
My nizzle. We've had and outside of personal, just in terms of professional wrestling, we bringing y'all a lot of content this week. So we're gonna focus on Mania, the build and Mania, and we got some other stuff coming after that. But a lot happened from Rumble to now that is. I still don't believe some of it happened.
But it did. Like,
Dwayne Johnson came back full time.
MVP since January.
I mean, full time.
He did.
Like, and I gotta give him credit because I'm gonna give him credit, but I'm gonna take a shot too. Because eventually it stopped feeling special to me. I can only speak on me.
You taking a shot of liquor or you taking a shot at the final boss?
I mean, I've been calling Roman the final boss for 3 years, so the fact that he stole that name, whatever. Y'all final boss.
Yeah.
Technically, he stole it from AEW.
Yeah. Damn.
Don't give him no ammo, man. See, look,
don't give him no ammo. We don't need them. Hey, man, look, we don't need them. We don't need them showing this footage on Dynamite, you know.
That's another episode.
You know, we'll talk about that next another episode. But Dwayne coming back full time was very special. I heard a lot of fans. Oh my God, I'm gonna go back to watching wrestling because The Rock's back, which was cool.
Yeah.
I love any time that we can stop becoming such a niche and be super inclusive. Bring old fans back that fell off because, like I said, we are hardcore fans, but we are now the casuals. A lot of the fans from our generation that stopped watching after the Ruthless Aggression era are the fans that are back now, that are buying merch, that are attending shows. A lot of these guys don't know a lot of talent names. They don't know a lot of the stories, but they're watching weekly. So the new casual fans are, our age range. So it's dope to see that not only did they come back, but they stayed. Because 14 consecutive sellouts televised?
No.
16, 17.
16, 17, 18?
18. I think. If
Jesus.
I'm not mistaken, it was 18. They lost it the other night.
No, where they lose it at Raw?
And yeah, they lost it Raw.
Wait, where was Raw at Monday night?
It was in I think it was Ontario.
Montreal.
It was in Canada.
Which is weird that they lost it in Canada,
I
considering
think they lost it by 300 seats.
I mean, well, so and apparently the UK episode that's coming up, that's being taped, is a complete. And when I say complete, they put the report out. The way the arena is structured for seating is a complete sellout. Not set up for wrestling, not set up for soccer. The arena is sold out. So they're gonna start a whole new consecutive streak, I guess.
Do what you want with that information for global domination.
You know, prepare for global domination.
Hold on, don't grab it like that.
These are not spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. And these are gold. If you get the reference, if you know, you know. But the fact that The Rock came back full time, he did media, he did appearances, he did promo, he did backstage work, he did. I don't know anything he didn't do.
Still.
And then he wrestled 2 nights. Well, he wrestled a full match, and then he got physical the second night.
Yeah.
What are y'all thoughts on Dwayne coming back and being front and center, showcase featured?
I think it was great. I think if it wasn't for Dwayne coming back and putting more sauce on that storyline, I don't know if it would have been as big as it ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it was a whole look at it. When he came back, hey Cody, why don't you step aside and let me and Roman do this? Which they were actually going to pull the trigger on. But Dwayne had the sense enough to know, hey, let's do what's best for the fans and let's finish this story. So let's pivot. You know, that's the word everybody like to use now. Let's pivot and let's give the fans what they want.
Let's do what's best for business.
Do what's best for business. Actually doing something best for business.
That's a solid point, bro, because they really did pivot, because apparently the story was Roman and Rock, which fans have been clamoring for this for like 5 years now. Like even before Tribal Chief started, they've been wanting this match, and it boils all the way back down to Philly at the Rumble when Rock came out and saved him and helped him win the Rumble. Ron, how are you feeling about your boy coming back and not only being showcased prominently, but because I know this was probably your favorite part about it, the different layers of not only his face to heel turn, but the elevation from the People's Champ, the great one, to the final boss, the entrance shakeups. Like, how'd you feel about it, bro?
I always tell people I look at things. I love movies. Mm-hmm. So when a storyline shapes out as a movie, it literally was a movie. Like I said, you got a understanding of you starting off with Face Rock. You got the People's Champion coming back. Oh, I'm gonna take a seat at the head of the table. And
hey, bro, when he said that, you remember that?
That pop was like, and we was like, oh, we getting it. But then again, it's like, I think people had to settle back down and truly look back like, damn, hold on, bro. Like, Cody. What about Cody? And I think that's where the divide started to come in. But more so, the Cody crybabies, as Dwayne put it, they came in full force. I mean, we knew that ideally, Cody had to get back with Roman. Yeah, I mean, we knew that. But I think fans were waiting so long for Rock and Roman that if they didn't get it, because we know Rock is on the timeline. I mean, Rock is getting older.
Yeah. He's getting older.
So I think that is playing a role like, hey, I want to see this, family, cousin versus cousin. and whatever. And I would love to see that. But like we said multiple times on the pod, and even in season 1 and individual conversations, if it didn't happen at 39 and they constantly continue to push it back, I wouldn't be as interested. But I think the WWE universe and wrestling period has such a stronghold on the business today because of social media. Because when the fans do a complete
do you think this would have had the same effect 10 years ago? The way the shift happened.
Excuse my language.
Oh, no. Put emphasis on this one because, like, realistically,
but we gotta look at who we
done this in the
with
PG era. If we would have been this in the PG era, I don't think the fans would have switched the way they did. Now, minus the Yes movement. But even still, that still came later. But when this was reported to have been going on, 10 years ago almost,
Vince wasn't letting no fans have no control and deteriorating his storyline and turning it around.
On WrestleMania?
Yeah. The role with one, notably, I understand stories have changed for crowd favorites, but The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his story with Roman Reigns, the actual company man at this time, has completely shifted because this wave of Cody Rhodes fans said, no, this is not what we want. We don't like that. We don't want to watch that. We're rebelling against it. And when I say they rebelled in fashion. And they listened.
Want Cody signs.
We want Cody signs. The most disliked video in WWE history.
She had like 10 million dislikes in like 3 days. I was like,
and you like, are you serious? This is how we move it. And nobody can't say, oh, The Rock don't care, because obviously, like Blackout said, he did care because he took it in consideration. Like, at the end of the day, I want to give the fans something that means something. I don't want to take away from him because this guy has earned this spot. But I think that, when he spoke with, Nick, hey, bro, I know we had this set up. I know this is where we were going, but I think what's best for business, I think we should shift. And I think it will be very much, it was a complex story, but everything meshed well together. It all came in. And now you had people questioning, was this the move the whole time? Or are they pulling a fast one? Or did they actually shift plans to make this happen? And the fact that this WrestleMania being the biggest WrestleMania of all time, breaking records just by matches, just by revenue, just everything, the atmosphere of WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, this build has been insane. Like, just getting this badass Rock, this guy that they're having him have creative freedom, cuss the crowd out. Hey, you got people in the crowd showing their boobs and they got to black out the screen. We got people throwing up middle fingers. It's getting a little bit more raunchy, like how it did back in the Attitude Era a little bit. Not too much, but it's slowly we get little seeds. Like, okay, they're letting Rock have a little bit of free reign. What we doing here? And I think the storytelling aspect was crazy. Going from the people's champion to, all right, now we going to, he's supposed to be the next line. Now he's becoming the final boss. And the way that they played into the character, the way that they cultivated his entrance, like, now honestly, if we'd have waited to get that at Mania, but I think
now you see. But now do you see why I said it though? Like, the way it continuously elevated up, and it was just like got better. If they would have just saved just the final boss entrance for Mania and let us have it that like remember when the Shield came back and they were giving you piece by piece every week, and you got the Shield entrance, and you were like, oh, like that's what I kind of anticipated with right now. Don't get me wrong, the switching it up and doing it that way was cool. Yeah, but I just felt like, for as big as this, with this being the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and TJ, before I let you go and get your shit off, I'm gonna read some of the numbers about how big Mania was, because it was huge. But I just felt like that entrance was a WrestleMania worthy entrance that just was like, dang.
That wasn't no Rock entrance. That was a Black Adam entrance.
Yeah.
Look, and then the bull in the back.
So viewership for night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania was up 41% from last year, which was already a record. Up over 40%. YouTube channel had its most viewed day on WrestleMania Sunday with more than 67 million views in 24 hours. WrestleMania 40 became the most socially viewed WrestleMania of all time with more than 660 million views in 2 days. Previous attendance record was broken by 78%. 145,298 fans over 2 days in Lincoln Financial. Huh?
Let's not
For
even
professional
count.
wrestling.
Let's not even count Raw, SmackDown.
We're not even
and all
counting
the
Raw,
numbers added
SmackDown,
to
and all that.
that.
We're not even doing that. We're not even. And you know what? And I'm gonna mention a post Raw number real quick because this number was probably the most surprising to me the way they worded it. The NCAA Men's Championship was the same night as Raw after WrestleMania. And Raw still pulled over 2.3 million views the same night.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
And it was over 32% higher than the Go Home Raw. You know how hard that is to do with the same night as an NCAA championship that had 14 million views? I didn't even watch the NCAA championship game.
I didn't either.
I watched Raw.
I forgot it was on.
Raw wasn't even
Raw after Mania-ish.
Raw, and we'll talk about that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because that's the question we got to pose to our fans, to all these hashtag real fans as well, because we've had our private conversation about it, and I think we're in consensus with it. But this was the biggest WrestleMania of all time. TJ, not just the build with Rock, but the press conference in Vegas, the slap, all of the little things that they tuned in with it, the family tree being shown, and we'll as a group talk about the beatdown because we got to talk about the beatdown. But just the Rock's mic work once he got comfortable, because there was a stretch where it was repetitive. It seemed kind of off, like he just wasn't in his zone yet. But then he said, "But for you, T, how did it feel?" As a fan who, just like with us, you grew up during the Attitude Era. You were a WWF guy.
I was.
You were. So like with me, I'm a WCW guy, but you were a WWF guy. How did it feel seeing Rock not only go heel again, but readopt not only the Hollywood Rock persona, but the I sit on the board persona, the final boss persona, and also fold into the Bloodline storyline? How'd that feel for you, bro?
Man, from the second that they turned him heel, you know what I'm saying? When Cody came out at the press conference, just like, no, bump all this. I'm like, from that second to the end of WrestleMania night Sunday, I feel perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He, like you're right. He had to catch his flow.
Yeah,
but I was still invested either way. The second he came out in that first $500 vest
with the cow vest,
when my man came out with the vest,
exactly, hooked.
Because it's crazy because we just saw Rock in October, November last year.
Mm-hmm.
Before this started, like we don't get this many Rocks. So when he came back and teased, I was like, are they teasing us again? Or are they really pulling the trigger? So like for you, when you realized they were pulling the trigger, how did that feel?
Man, I was giddy. I was just like, look, he finna do this. And then like you were saying with the whole I'm on the board, I'm the final boss thing. He made that stuff literal. Like you remember when he was whooping Cody at the bus and it was after the joint. He was like, clear. He was like, no, ain't no clear. Who you talking to? or when he was in the tag match, he was just like, if you count anything, you fired. Like you count, you fired.
You know what? Let's talk about the Mama Rhodes moment. Let's talk about the belt.
You're well,
because when he hit you, when he said I'm gonna make him, and that was also the thing. Like the repetitiveness of his promos were starting to get kind of cringy, but it is what it is. But him saying he was gonna make Cody bleed, he was gonna beat him, boy. The boys was killing me. I know you're not gonna be calling Cody Luther King boy like that, man. What's wrong with you?
The boys coming from a place.
They came from the Isle of Samoa. Those
boy.
But the beat, and it's crazy because the beatdown was great. It was excellently done, but there were two things. Number one for me, I thought he was gonna throw him in the river. Like Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era fan, he was like, Cody's going over the wall.
Cody was going.
But also, Can we give a shout out to God and Mother Nature for the rain?
Yeah.
Because
Epic.
the scene would have went off, but God was like, hold on, let me sprinkle a little. The rain made that a cinematography masterpiece.
Give it like the mafia vibes.
I mean, dog. And it was just like, and it was cold. Yeah. So every other punch hurts.
You don't
hitting the ground hurts. Hitting the bus hurts. Like, it was crazy.
And he had a full like get up on. He had the lemon pepper steppers on, so I know his feet was hurting.
So exactly.
I know his feet was hurting. He had some Dr. Scholl's in them boots, man.
In them Johns, he had to, because dog. But it's crazy because it's weird. You could see, because now we see how much they're valuing on production. But even then, you could see the difference in the production value and the aesthetics, because it was like the way they're shooting this. Like there's no dead moments where the camera was panning off over here by it. Like they were so zoned in on making that the absolute best that they could, that I was wondering, is this The Rock or is this the company initiative now saying, okay, let's do what AEW is not going to do and let's ride our momentum the correct way?
I think it was both, bro.
Because it's wild to me that it's just like Survivor Series through Rumble, the production was still
it was phasing.
Style. It was a gradual transition into it, and then they transitioned, and now production is
booming.
Jesus,
out of this world. And I think what you were saying, like going into it, I think people have to realize too, you got one of the biggest Hollywood stars on your show.
And not even a big, like let's not even say one of. Let's call it spade a spade.
I mean, well, we gotta put Tom Cruise in there. I mean,
I think you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. I think The Rock now is bigger than Tom Cruise at his peak.
And Leo.
Because Leo, I think what was always missing from Leo was the fact that he didn't get his Oscar during his peak. Now, if he would have got his Oscar during his peak, then he'd be the biggest of all time. Right. But we got to look at what Rock is doing. He's on the board. He started. He should have got it for what?
Gatsby.
He should have got it for Gatsby. He should have got it for Wolf of Wall Street. He should have got it for Django. He should have got it for.
Oh yeah.
Like there's so many. Yeah. There's so many. But also, to be fair, I went back and looked at some of those times where he didn't get it. And the people that got it was like,
it was tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like when Will Smith didn't get it for Pursuit of Happiness. That's one of the hardest ones in the world for me to accept. But if I'm not mistaken, that's when Forrest Whitaker got it for Last King of Scotland. I'm not gonna argue that.
You wasn't beating Whitaker.
Like, how do you fight that one? Yeah. So it's like, okay. But with Rock, he's on the board of TKO. He owns the name.
$7.
$7.
XFL.
Not even XFL no more. What is it? UFL? The UFL.
UFL, excuse me.
UFL.
Project Rock.
And that Project Rock, and now instead of getting a 3-part fast, we're getting a sequel with Rock and Jason Momoa. So they're taking Jason Momoa out of the last part of the Fast and Furious now. And it's gonna be Hobbs and whatever his last name is, Dante. I can't remember his last name.
Hobbs and Momoa.
Yeah, like that's how big Rock is now. That the Hollywood strike happened, he left and didn't miss a beat.
Yeah,
came back and changed the wrestling landscape. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that WWE would be run by The Rock, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels,
I'm saying you a fool.
Yeah,
I would have said you was a fool, but I also would have cried because it sounds beautiful, and now we're living it, and it's actually beautiful. The most
actually
like, and I know we're gonna catch flack for this, and I genuinely don't give a damn. Excuse my French, but I'm gonna be honest because I'm gonna say it.
English.
It was what?
That was English.
Shh. That's not the hill to die
on. That is not the hill to die on, bro. I'm gonna say this. I've always thought that in-ring and storyline-wise, the Ruthless Aggression era was better than the Attitude Era. Attitude Era was bigger, but I think that this Paul Levesque era is going to go down as the best era of all time.
For sure. Because the Attitude Era, he even said it. They were like, it was so much going on. They're trying to stay
Shop
alive.
TV.
Their competition. They're just trying to throw stuff against the wall, see if it sticks.
What you I knew Black was gonna be the one that was gonna. What you got for me, Black? Because.
But we always knew. We always said this. If Paul Levesque gets the main roster and runs it, this is what we're going to get. We knew this. It was just a matter of it happening. And we didn't ever think it would happen because you know who.
We really didn't. We really didn't.
Look, the ship was going to go down and he was going to be right on top with the flag going down with it.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that when he rode in the Jeep.
And whether anybody want to believe it or not, people behind the scenes knew it, and somebody had to blow the whistle.
Oh yeah, big facts.
Blow the whistle.
It needed.
Blow the whistle.
Hey. What's my favorite word? Why you gotta say it like short? You know they can't play on my court, can't hang with the big dogs, stay off the porch, blow the whistle. Hey! That's my choice right there. It's crazy because like a lot of people don't get that kind of hit that far into their career. This is the Rock's blow the whistle. Yeah. Like, you know, but and before we really delve into and go crazy on night 1 and night 2, I would be remiss to skip over Elimination Chamber because Perth was big for the company. The biggest thing about it is Rhea Ripley main eventing in her home country.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That is incredible. Like, shout out to Rhea because I remember when she beat Toni Storm and was the inaugural UK champion, people were like,
what?
Why? Why not Toni Storm? Like, that's weird. And now look at where we are. Now they're two of the biggest women in their respective companies now. And it's like, Triple H had the foresight to see Tony's gonna swim. I need to get Rhea to where and it took a while, but I'll never forget that NXT elevated run that she got right before she beat Shayna. Like the way they elevated her going into War Games and then beating Shayna, I was like, damn, she's really big time.
Can I ask a quick question? I know I don't want to get too off topic, but I know we just said this other day, you know, the Batista John Cena comparison.
It is. It is.
But besides that point, do we feel like is Rhea better in ring than Bianca, or is she taking strides better to get better?
I think they're on the same because they wrestle differently. Rhea wrestles such a dominant style aggressive and dominant, and Bianca, and that's why it's the Batista and Cena dynamic almost, because it's like Batista was the dominant, aggressive. That was his ring style. And Cena was a little more flash, a little gritty, more pop, a little green, and that's the same thing with Bianca. Bianca's leaps and bounds ahead of where she was at one point, but she still also wrestles with a little more athleticism.
You're right.
The timing on her spots is different than what Rhea will do. And, that's like, and I always look at how they wrestle one opponent differently. They wrestle Nia Jax differently.
Yeah.
It's a different style of match, but
they wrestle Becky opponent. Differently.
They wrestle Bayley completely differently. They wrestle an Io differently. So it's like, so I don't think either one of them is ahead of the other. I can see where some people may enjoy Rhea's style more. I can see that. I think I'm one of those people actually, but I've always been a Haas
type of, like, you like slapping.
I like the power bomb, the scoop slam. I don't mind the hip tosses I don't mind those. And don't get me wrong, because I'm a technical wrestling fan. Like, above all, that's my favorite style of wrestling.
It's the time and place for it, though.
There's a time and place for it. Sometimes I need to see big meaty men slapping meat.
Big meaty men.
I mean, sometimes you got to see it, and that's what Rhea will give you against the Nia Jax. But I also, and the one thing I can say about Paul that I love the most is he's keeping this Bianca and Rhea WrestleMania match on ice. Yeah. Because he knows you can't have that match and it not be a main event of a night. Yeah. And the last few years, the women have not been able to main event because of how big the storyline is. Last year was the Usos. Last year was the Usos and against KO and Sammy.
Yeah.
It made such sense. This year, Rock and Roman and Seth, and come on, how does that?
That's not getting pushed. anywhere besides
the only way that doesn't main event night one is if it to be open is if it's the opener night one. You can't have that match be the opener.
because everybody's gonna be so winded.
Exactly. So he's doing a phenomenal job keeping them apart because that's what they did for Batista and Cena. We only got like 5 pay-per-view matches between them over the course of their entire career.
Only saw them at the Rumble. Only saw them really
at a SummerSlam or something like that. Like it was a major show. And now, because you run the risk of having that match end up becoming Randy and Cena. Yeah. Nigga, excuse me. I don't care. When I tell you because I was watching wrestling heavily during that time, and it was like I know they say we've seen a lot of rematches, during this last 2 years. No, you've never seen as many rematches as you've seen John Cena and Randy Orton. I know they wrestled each other on TV.
I quit match. To hurt your father match.
In the latter match, it was like, this is the last time they'll ever wrestle again. And then they wrestled again a couple weeks. Like,
the rematch.
Dolph and Miz had a run for a minute.
Yeah, they had a run too, bro.
Yeah, they had a run.
They had a run. But it was crazy because I didn't get tired of their matches because their story always got better every time. With Cena and Randy, it just was the same thing. Randy's the heel, and I think that's what hurt it. If they would have been able to switch the dynamic and give us a heel Cena, maybe it would have felt different.
Yeah, different storyline.
But heel Randy all the time against bubblegum white meat babyface John Cena all the time, it just got old.
The champ is here.
Leading into Mania though, Drew winning the Chamber was the right move.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Unless
what?
Punk doesn't get hurt, then Punk has to win that, and you get the Cena and Punk match.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, a Punk and the Punk.
I was like, what?
Match.
Yeah. I think we understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we knew where that was going.
But once again,
it was time.
The pivot was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Because
one of the best
social media healed Drew McIntyre.
That was a blessing.
I didn't know I needed it.
Look,
nobody knew they needed it.
The CM Punk shirt with the hunk. If they would have came out with a hunk Drew,
dog, I didn't know. And it's wild because we've seen heel Drew, but it's never hit like this.
Because he was never able to be free as he is now.
Everybody free.
Everybody's free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, he is free at last. Because this is the most. I hope he resigns. That's how much I'm enjoying this. I hope he resigns.
I think he will because I know they are, especially after what he just did. He getting paid. Like let's be realistic. I think he'll get paid.
I hope he resigns. I hope he resigns because I feel like he won't be able to come back if he leaves again.
I don't think.
Not that he
would come back.
Not that he won't be welcome back. I just don't think if he leaves again, he'll ever be able to get his stock higher than it is right now. And there's no point for you to come back if you're going to come back and do the same thing you were doing when you left.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that would be his final stint. I don't think. Yeah, like you were saying, there's no coming back from that. I think what he's doing now is some of the best work he's done in his career.
His entire career. That's like Punk. The Punk coming back only worked as well as it did because his stock was as high as it. TJ stupid. Oh my God!
I didn't see what he did until you.
And then you see it, and then you're like, "Wake up!" Punk coming back only hit the way it hit because of the AEW drama, and it was like, "Well, your stock is as high as it's gonna be without any type of anything now. Time for you to come back." Cody started AEW, got booed out of the building.
Jade.
Well, so Jade never came.
She's different. Well, she's
you know
different.
what I mean? But like, who's one more person that came back that was like, hell, even Roman, Roman, leaving after the whole, taking that time off, after leukemia again. You had to come back, and him coming back and aligning with Paul. This is as big as you were gonna get until Tribal Chief. But with Drew, I just don't know if he can not necessarily bounce back from leaving again, but just you not as big as you are right now. This is the biggest you're gonna get. You won the world title. You had your moment in front of fans, and fans popped. We're not gonna pop for it again.
I popped hard.
I popped hard for him. We're not gonna pop again because you've been given the moment now. I don't care now.
What?
No, Diddy. I'm sorry. No, Diddy.
Whoa.
No, Diddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it came off the tongue and I caught it right back. I popped hard.
I ain't gonna lie. So I stood up. It was so big.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
he actually. Wow. Okay.
Honestly, I did not.
I didn't. I thought he was gonna lose, and then I still thought that
let's
Damian
say
was
that for
gonna
night too, because that's gonna be a whole.
We'll
tangent.
say that's
gonna be a
thing.
whole tangent.
But Drew winning the chamber was the right move. Becky winning the chamber.
I think it was the best possible move for Rhea.
Who else did you have?
You didn't have no. It was Becky, Bianca, Liv, Naomi, Raquel, and Tiffany. Rhea winning at Mania doesn't mean as much over anybody else on this list except Bianca.
Becky.
Yeah, except Becky or Bianca.
Because you don't want to give Tiffany a nice L after you're trying to build her up to where she's going to be champion. She get that thing next year sometime. She might be getting it this week.
Tiffy time.
I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. She is the perfect blend of early Charlotte Flair mixed with Trish Stratus.
Yes,
perfect blend of it. She's got the look, and she has the athletic pedigree to be able to pull off everything that she needs to do because it's still the prettiest moonsault ever.
Very.
In-ring
work got better too.
I don't like the Kabuki Warriors being tag champs. I know it was to build the damage control story, but I don't like them being champs. They definitely shouldn't have beat Katana and Kaden, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. They beat Candice. Indy. They beat Candice and Indy at Eliminate, and nobody even remembers that match.
I didn't know it happened.
Exactly.
I watched the show.
Judgment Day beating New Catch Republic. I'm okay with it at Elimination Chamber because of what happened at Mania. We'll get to that. But Rhea beating Nia. Love it. It was her home country. There was no other way for that to happen, and you needed to carry Rhea over into Mania. What I love most about what's happening with Rhea now, before we talk about that later, what I forgot.
Nia's best match. She brought out Nia's.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Nia's best match ever. But what I love about it is the first half of Rhea's reign was trash.
She wasn't fighting nobody.
Basura.
Yeah,
but they lied.
Champion for 6 months for nothing.
But see, that's the thing. I think Trips wanted to establish the long reigns. He didn't want to be like Seth Rollins fighting every. You got one person already doing that. So you don't want three people doing. You don't want the fatigue. All they do is defend the title. Because you get those fans.
And she's already doing it at house shows on top of that. Plus, you're doing it on live TV.
Exactly. So I do love how they did her second half of her reign. But going into Mania, there was some flat stories. There was some stuff that just kind of, you see that they were just like, okay, let's build Cody, Rock, Seth, Roman. Let's build Seth individually. And then we'll kind of piece everything else together as it goes along. That's what happened.
Flat stories towards like the actual Mania matches or just
the Mania matches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the actual matches. Because the six pack tag ladder match.
Yeah,
they threw that together.
But you really ain't got a really good story with the tag titles because ain't really nothing to really.
Well, so when I say they threw it together, they put Austin Truth back together just so they could have another team in there. The Creed should have been in that match.
That would have been.
They should have been in that match.
Over who? Austin and Grayson?
No, because they ended up winning. So no.
Who would you take out?
No.
I don't know because Truth is so over. You can't not take him out.
He got to be in there.
Did the New Day really? It's the New Day, and I love.
They didn't need to be in a match. They've had their shine. Because I don't think you're going to do anything else with the New Day.
You're not.
They've submitted their place in history.
They got another run.
They already had that other run though. They won the NXT titles last year. They
Yep.
already had that other run.
Yep.
And then with this thing with Big E, it's not nothing else that you can do but give back to the next generation that's coming up.
Exactly. But night one, I actually liked night one, but I liked night two more.
Yeah.
We know why we didn't like night one more than night two. Because of Jay and Jimmy.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that. And also the match that happened after that too is why I didn't really love night one.
Big three.
The six woman.
Yeah.
Rhea and Becky had a great match. I thought 17 minutes was a perfect amount to start the show.
That was her flu game match.
Becky was sick. She showed up.
Strep throat,
It's
102.
probably Becky's best pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I didn't feel bored or just ran down with her performance. I really enjoyed it, and her entrance was pretty beautiful.
It was dope. No, it was dope. But Rhea had the interest of the women's entrance of the weekend and a top 3 entrance of the weekend as well.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna say top 3 all time. I was about to
Oh no, not all time. No. You know what? I'll say this: she had a top 3 musical entrance of all time. Because usually the musical entrances just kind of fall.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Triple H had.
I hated. You talking about when Motorhead performed? I hated that. I thought Motorhead sounded like ass that night. I don't know. And I'm in the minority. I know a lot of people who love that performance, but I just don't like that performance. But if for anybody who thinks that that's a great one, I'm not mad at that.
It's in the top 10. It's not the greatest.
I actually prefer Limp Bizkit doing Rollin'.
Oh,
over. I thought that was a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I love. Look,
that was a great one.
If they would have played Crack Addict in one of them promos.
Crack Addict wasn't his theme.
Yeah,
I know it wasn't his theme, but I said if they would have just played Crack Addict during the promotion.
I mean, but I also knew the dance though.
Yeah.
I knew the dance though, so I'm biased to Rollin'.
And then you hit the joint and the pyro went off. You felt some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You felt some kind of way.
I love that Rhea retained. Right decision, right match. They could have cut a few minutes off for Becky because she was sick, but right result. Becky has 2 more world title runs in her, so whatever.
Yeah.
Before what?
Before she retires.
Well,
Becky's got realistically
20
in terms of getting tired of Becky and her not having anything else left. Becky's got about 5 years left before she needs to hang it completely up. I want to say 3, but they can push it because she gets these extended breaks. Like she's on a break right now.
Yeah.
Her next contract is probably going to be a 3-year. She's probably going to get that 3-year, get her max deal.
Yeah.
And then she'll probably move. I think she'll probably move into a producer role.
I could see it. I would love to see her go to NXT and produce the women's talent. Not the matches, but produce the characters. Because she's come a long way from doing the Irish dance on stage.
But Becky ain't that old though, is it?
How old is Becky? Becky Lynch is
36,
37. So in women's wrestling, she's a little up there.
And then she had a baby. So
she had her kid. They probably want to have another one. Seth eventually is going to start to slow down because these injuries are piling up.
This probably is his year that he's probably going to slow down to recover. And then going forward, he's going to have it right.
Because he carried that belt behind you. The mantle, he carried it, and I'm proud of what he did with it. Did I get tired of it? Yes. Did I think initially I thought AJ should have won it? Yes, but I'm cool with Seth because he was the workhorse champ. Injuries, I do think Shinsuke should have beat him for it, or Finn. I think either. I
thought Finn should have got it for him. I think Finn was more the idealist portion.
But I'm glad they didn't because of what ended up happening night 2. I'm glad Finn didn't. The tag title match was great. My boys got their WrestleMania moment. They didn't win, but DIY was at WrestleMania with the DX intro. I'm good. I don't care. My boys got it.
Did you see the apron DDT into the table? Like, oh my gosh, my neck.
No, even Drewski was in the crowd like, okay.
Said, oh my God, this is real.
Yeah, this is real. A-Town Down Under pulls down the first sets. I'd love that we finally split the titles.
Yes.
Give it a round of applause.
Jesus. Because you have 6 teams in this match already. So you have 3 sets of teams right there. Plus, you got Alpha Academy, you got the Creeds, you got your NXT. There's so many tag teams now. It was time to split the belts again.
It was prime for it to happen.
Yeah. And TJ, I think TJ said it. I think TJ said it before Mania. He was like, what if R-Truth pulls down a set, thinking or something like that, and it was like he should have, he didn't pull down both sets, so the match keeps going or something like that.
And what I said was because what I thought was they was going to have one red one blue one.
Mm-hmm. And he was going to pull down a single one.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with that too. I like that they had both sets up because it really gave you the feeling of, okay, the match is not over.
We're going tonight.
It's really going to happen. I like that Judgment Day. I was wondering, was Judgment Day losing the right decision? Eventually it was. But I was wondering, but with Rhea retaining, I was like, why did they take the belts off of Judgment Day? They should have at least kept one set. But I do love R-Truth getting his moment.
Yes.
I feel like on that
100%.
part too, it's just to help with what we already been seeing on TV was
100%.
the work towards possibly the team breaking up, Rhea, the friction between Rhea and Priest, Dom kind of getting beside himself and getting outside the group, doing stuff that he ain't get permission to do. JD constantly losing, Finn being Finn.
On a big old head just being there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it all played well.
The Funko Pop, JD Funko Pop.
Man.
Bless his soul for going through that table, because my God.
That was a spot and a half.
I said, oh Lord. Woo.
New Catch Republic will end up eventually, but see, this is also where it kind of is hard now for Triple H to juggle these, because you have 3 fan favorite teams. You got the Creeds, who possibly maybe after Monday night will be going for will be a heel team soon. We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah,
DIY and New Catch Republic, because Pete Dunne deserves a strap. Like, it's been too long since he's held gold. It's been way too long, because last time he was a champion was with Matt Riddle. And they were the Bro Stallions or Stallion Bro.
Whatever they were.
The Style Bro. What were they?
I don't know.
What was their NXT tag team name?
The Finger Breakers of Pain.
Yeah, the facts. Let me go with that.
Huh. They ain't had no belt since then?
No. Pete Dunne has not had a belt since him and Matt Riddle lost them belts, bro.
Because he was about to get the Heritage Cup, but then I think he lost.
Great.
And then
I'm living some kind of Mandela effect. I definitely thought of him and steroided Chris Pratt had a belt run.
Not steroided Chris Pratt. You talking about Ridge?
Yeah.
No, they didn't get the belts, bro.
I'm glad they broke them. I'm glad
the Broserweights.
The Broserweights.
Oh, that's what they were. Yeah.
Yeah, the Broserweights.
Yeah.
They didn't get the belts. Because remember he had that super duper long UK title run before Gunther snatched it from him, and then the next time he won a belt was then, and that was it.
I think they get the belts from Austin and them though.
I can see that. Yeah. I'd be fine with that.
They would be a great stable for SmackDown moving forward as far as setting the tone for the tag team division.
They get drafted to SmackDown. I am definitely with them getting that rub.
I don't want to see the Pride in tag team for a while, honestly.
Again, and another team that wasn't in the ladder match, the Profits.
But we figured that was going. I figured that was
for that, but I don't care about the reason for that. But whatever.
That match was pretty.
Yeah, it's mid. It was one of the lesser matches on night 2. But the Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos and Dirty Dom, it was what it was. It was gonna be. It was 10 minutes. It was 11 minutes. The Eagles popping up and getting involved.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We could have done without. We could have done without.
I could have done without the match, honestly, but they were going to feature it because LW Legado has been, and because Charlotte's not wrestling this year. Y'all knew Andrade was wrestling. Charlotte,
and then
I don't.
That's probably contingency. Like, hey man, I know I'm one of your Triple H guys, so
Yeah.
Hey.
I do like him being included in the LWO thing, but I would have preferred him over Carlito completely. I would have preferred Carlito never even being involved in it, and it being Andrade to take the mantle from Rey moving forward with Cruz and Joaquin.
But Carlito gonna be the next one to beat Rey Mysterio across the head anyway.
Yeah,
it's very noticeable.
It's coming.
You know what? You know what I would actually prefer? I would actually prefer for Carlito to go to NXT
and do what?
Yeah,
and just be a solo down there.
Oh, okay.
He could have that Baron Corbin style research where you put him in a North American competition. Him and Oba could be a little banger.
I know they gotta keep the young OG away from Buddy.
They need to bring the cruiserweight title back and get that to the young OG
right
now. And then the match of the night. Best match of all WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Trash. Mid. Horrible.
Is that the worst brother versus brother match we've seen?
Yes.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yes.
But they played to their styles. He said it in the interview he just dropped. I think, or the vlog, excuse me, not an interview. The
What's up?
vlog that he just dropped. They play to their styles. That's all they know. They're brothers. They do the same darn thing. So obviously, it was gonna feel like a super kick match. I mean, I felt like the story was there, but the execution of the match did not.
Great
pan out.
concept, terrible execution.
You know what I like to call it? What
What you
I used to call it all the time?
This man got a toothpick.
$1 million move, $2 finish.
$2 finish.
Look, this man got a toothpick. Look,
Yeah.
look, I can change your carburetor for about
Yeah.
$4.45.
Listen, put it.
It's 10 o'clock at night. What you need?
Keep the toothpick. You got it right, bro. Because understand something. I was so disappointed in that match that was actually my bathroom break match.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what y'all giving us?
I thought it was the
but
next
I
match.
thought it might be a banger.
But now y'all see why I said there needed to be a stipulation or it needed to be for the Intercontinental title, because that match just being a standalone, it wasn't gonna hit. It just wasn't gonna do nothing.
It should have been like a tables match or something, like
Something.
a tribal combat or something.
They could have gave us tribal combat for that. I'd have been good with that. I'd have been good with it. But now, hey, look, you can't even be mad that there was no extra type of stipulation because Jimmy ended up getting beat down later.
And it was clean. Like no solo, no nothing.
Nothing. And the wrong person won. Jay shouldn't have won that. Jimmy should have won that dirty because Jay doesn't need this, especially with what you did after Mania. Jay doesn't need this.
My thing is what started off to ruin the match anyway was damn Lil Wayne coming down the ramp. Yeah, it's you, Oos. You did it. Whatever he was saying just ruined.
What happened to him?
I'm over here trying to do this, and he just
what happened to him? Debuting his newest single, his world premiere new single.
Bro, that didn't happen. My thing is the greatest rap. I said, bro, yeah. I said,
I was like, y'all do a lot.
I said, look, I don't know what y'all paid this man. I said, what y'all paid this man, but that is not the
TJ. Who you was looking for, TJ?
I'm looking for Will Smith.
Hey, look, West Philadelphia.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised
on the playground.
You know what? Why was Will not at Mania? It's Philly. Y'all, they missed the knock on that. They missed the knock on. Segue real quick.
I haven't found out Will Smith going to WrestleMania. I don't care where it's at. I'm going.
Segue real quick. Shout out to Paul Heyman for top 2 all-time Hall of Fame speeches ever.
Top 2.
Who's
and
number
you can
one?
suck my.
I think he's number 1.
Yeah, he's number 1.
No, he's number 1. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's number 1
all day. He ain't the 2.
He's number 1
because he's not 2.
He the
number 2 go to Thunderbolt Patch. Nah, I'm kidding.
What is that?
My man went up there and started preaching.
I still gotta watch.
And look, I was crowd watching because I didn't know who behind him he was making uncomfortable. Look, I was like, I was trying to look at Tripp's face and see if Tripp's been like, all right.
You know what? I will only say, but I also think it's debatable because Bobby Heenan had a great one.
Oh, he did.
Bobby Heenan had a phenomenal.
He did.
Yeah.
And we also got an honorable mention, Scott Halls.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's why I said top 2, because it's like I'm not saying Paul's was heads and shoulders above theirs, because both of them had, and Scott even gave you a memorable, you know what I mean? Like he gave you everything, but he also gave you the memorable moment too. Yeah. Ric Flair had a good one.
He just took too damn long.
He just took too long. He just was too long.
I was like, come on, Rick.
Nobody was longer than Undertaker though. I remember.
I was Mr. T.
Oh, Jesus Lord.
No. Listen. Hold on, bro.
Jeez, nah, Mr. T's was long. Well, it's weird that celebrities
loves his mama.
I was about to say it's weird that celebrities get up there and want to thank their mama for getting inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like when you in your sports or whatever, hey, cool. But get up there. I had an amazing time at WrestleMania 1. Thank you, Hulk Hogan. Thank you, Muhammad Ali. Thank you, Vince McMahon. Thank you, WWE Universe. This was great. It helped propel my career. Blah, blah, blah. I'm out. But y'all, he did that like it was like a legit lifetime achievement award.
Thunderbolt Patterson
went up there praying. He went up there praying.
Was up there and I wasn't against it, but I like you could tell like it was getting. He's the old granddad is sitting there at the cookout speaking, and I just want to say something else. I just want to thank the Lord.
I was like,
well, without the Lord, I was sitting looking at Stephanie. Stephanie sitting there like this, like.
I laughed. That's with the OG ECW cap on too from the from the invasion storyline.
That took me back because that era of Stephanie McMahon was hot.
Yeah, she put that issue on.
Fire! Between that one and GM SmackDown Stephanie.
Oh yeah.
Yes, balloons. We celebrating.
Shut up.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Look, you missed it. I had balloons. They really.
I saw that foolishness.
But Paul had a phenomenal. Him not being the headliner was wrong.
Yeah.
Like the closer, him not being the closer was wrong. But I also see why, because the rest of the speeches were kind. And hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say this to all of you Philadelphia fans chanting what during Bull in the Con.
Yes,
bro. Y'all are some disrespectful. I ain't gonna finish that. That was terrible. Y'all are wrong. Y'all were wrong for that. But then again, y'all are Eagles fans. I don't expect any different.
They were disrespectful during the whole darn thing. You can hear
during the whole thing.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought Dwayne.
They really just wanted to see Paul, and that was it. Nobody.
I thought Dwayne was about to go off on the mic.
I did too.
I was like, oh Lord.
Like that was probably because usually it gets aggravating when they want to chant all night, but you understand that. But that whole night was just like, all right, y'all, shut up. Like, can we get through this, please?
Eventually, they're gonna stop fans from coming in.
Eventually,
and so I think how they had it is separate. It's not right after SmackDown. It's a separate event. I think they should go back to that because I felt like the atmosphere there was a lot better than how it is after. I mean, you done been there since 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
6, yeah.
They ain't get out of here. I don't think Hall of Fame this year ended till like 1.
I remember back.
I fell asleep.
I remember back. What was that? WrestleMania, the one in Atlanta. What was that? 27.
Yeah.
And I remember that Hall of Fame, and there were people actually dressing up for it.
To be,
yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like they treated it as a very special and important event. You know what I mean? And there was none of that BS that we saw the other night.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
I mean, honestly, they should do it. They should go back to like how you said it's a formal event. It's like how the Hall of Fame we treat it for anybody Hall of Fame, NFL, Neesmith Basketball Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Everybody is going to pay their respect, and it's a respectful environment. It's not where you got some of these noobs and some of these disrespectful fans that, oh, well, I just want to be on TV and get my what?
Exactly. They didn't have to catch Bret Hart if it was closed to the public.
It makes you real, no, that's a fact. Because he got beat down, boy. FTR beat him down all the way through the crowd. So you know what? Hey, he got his.
Yeah. And then they still making money. Oh no, are they? I don't think they make it. I don't think they make it because I mean they sell it as a 2-for-1.
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you was talking about. We was talking about different.
No, I thought they were doing Hall of Fame as. If I'm not mistaken,
if I'm not mistaken, the tickets are 2-for-1. No, I think the tickets are 2-for-1. You have to actually pay to get in the Hall of Fame. Which, hey, it's a business. We already know that. But the Jimmy and Jay match, it was so bad it could have been taken off the card, and I wouldn't have missed it.
No, honestly.
I would have been fine with a Jay versus Solo match if that was the case. That would have been better.
Might as well.
You know what? But you know what though?
What?
Would the Tama involvement have fit as good there? Maybe.
No,
I don't think so.
So what?
No,
I think it feels right where it's at.
Yeah,
I think where it's at, it fit perfectly.
I'm trying to find a way to make that Jimmy and Jay match.
You can't, bro. You can't. Besides everything that we gave, it had to have a stipulation. Or they needed to come up with something a little bit better. Jason Jordan probably should have took over that match.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who produced that match.
I don't even know who produced that.
I think they left that off for a reason.
Shout out real quick. Imagine where Jason Jordan would be right now with Triple H in charge. Jesus. He might have been one of the ones to beat Roman. They would have, but now you know who it would have been had things happened the way they were supposed to happen. It wouldn't have been Cody Rhodes finishing the story. No. Velveteen Dream would have been the one to end this. Would have been the one. Seriously, if we look at super stardom, if we look at transcends just Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, a person who We gonna strap the rocket to your back, and because of just your character work and your age, you could lead my era into the future.
I guess you would have to, with
I don't talk about
today's
that.
climate,
So sad.
with certain
You know
things.
what? With all the cussing and all that Rock did, I think it still would fit, bro. I think they would have, because
But
they would have
traditional
let Dream.
fans, they would have tore that up on X a lot more
Yes
now.
and no. Yes and no, because we got to think about. We also got to think about.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like it's weird. Because I don't know if they would have let him be Velveteen.
He wouldn't be
roster
as androgynous as he was.
as he was. Okay.
Yeah, I think they would have had to pull that back a lot, because especially if he's going to be holding a title, I don't think they want to present that to children.
I think in this era now he could have been Velveteened all the way though. I think he could have just been.
He could have been
now. What Trips is doing, I think he could have just done whatever he wanted to.
You know what they said Vince said about black people,
I had to refuel.
We gonna keep
the next match was the big three.
The big three.
They did exactly what we said they would have. They did exactly what I said was gonna happen at Royal Rumble. They put Jade in a WrestleMania match, highlighted her strengths, hid her weaknesses, but they also did exactly what I said I did not want to happen and what I was afraid of. Going forward, she is synonymous with Bianca Belair all the way through now. There is no way to separate her from Bianca in the next year.
Oh no.
Without them thinking about her and Bianca. Her first big moment on the main roster, Bianca. Her first WrestleMania moment, saving Bianca and them, then joining Bianca at Mania. There is nothing you can do to separate her from Bianca Belair now, which, hey, if that's the way Trips feels, until he has a misstep, I'm going to trust Papa H. But I think it's
all piecing together what Bianca was and knowing what Jade can be. If you don't want to totally follow the whole blueprint of Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair is Bianca Belair. She is nobody else. She has paved the way for black women in the industry to be highlighted in a different stratosphere than what they once were. And shout out to the ones that did it before, but just didn't get that shine. But
it's like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA now.
Yep. Her jersey has sold out.
And you know what? And I know we're gonna talk sports on the next episode, but we're gonna talk about it real quick, because the old guard has to stop with the jealousy. Don't get me wrong.
We appreciate
Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, Diana Taurasi, both the Della Donna twin. Do not get me wrong. Sue Bird. Cheryl Miller. Don't get me wrong. Your contribution to women's basketball, your contribution to sports, your contribution to equality, entertainment, and just women's rights, period. We salute you. But Diana Taurasi came out talking about, well, you think you're going to do what you did in college. You coming in here with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You coming in here with a lot of women who've been playing longer than you have. That's cool. But you know what's also about to happen? WNBA women's tickets went from $18 for when she plays Angel Reese in her first game to $195. You know what else is going to happen? The market revenue shares that y'all were getting before are going to increase and spike now. If she's a bust, this may end the league. So you should be elevating her on a pedestal right now. Like, hey, y'all, watch this girl. Watch not only what she's doing, but watch Angel Reese, watch Candace Parker, who's still in the league, watch Brittany Griner, but embrace her instead of hating on what this girl is about to bring. Exactly. But they hating on this girl and they like, oh, well, we've been doing this. Yeah, but nobody was watching y'all. And this is the most watched. Her run in the NCAA tournament this year was the most watched women's basketball across history.
Because she was busting people.
And give thanks. I want everybody to give thanks
to the South Carolina Gamecocks women basketball team.
Cox undefeated. Cox.
But give thanks. No. Let's go back to a year ago.
Beg your pardon.
Let's give thanks to Angel Reese, because Angel Reese was the Nia Jax to Becky Lynch.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about the women, so I'm gonna say ma'am because I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's be honest. The only thing that's keeping Caitlin Clark from being LeBron James right now is the fact that she didn't win an NCAA championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if she would have won a ring, imagine how much more obnoxious the league and the media would have been about her.
Oh, the coverage would have been happy. Still, it was still going down.
Angel Reese stopped it last year. Dawn Staley stopped it this year.
Yep.
You said the only thing stopping her from being LeBron right now is the fact that
Like the hype
she's
going
already,
in.
She's
The hype
already
going in.
highly touted and already. But if
chosen
she would
one.
have won a national championship,
She would have been the chosen one.
After winning 2 Player of the Years.
Chosen
it'd be
one.
unbearable.
And she's
she's
a white girl.
College. So what are you talking about?
Look, if you notice, the Gamecocks went undefeated. You had about 1 day of coverage. UConn won back-to-back championships. 1 day of coverage.
Who they talking about? The WNBA draft.
Drafted number 1 overall.
Bro, understand something. I've never watched the WNBA draft before this year.
No, I didn't watch it.
It got me.
It got me. I watched.
Well, I watched when Maya Moore, but I already knew Maya was going number 1. We already knew Maya was.
I've never even known when the draft was.
I didn't know when the draft was.
I really didn't know they had.
I think it's literally the day after the championship.
Everybody was at home with the thing of hats. And
I didn't know that until this year. I was like, oh wait, when is the draft? Because I want to see where Angel's going.
But they advertise it a lot more now because of. I mean, we got to see as far as you see all the arguments online.
I pray
about
she's
women.
not a bus.
I pray not either because it's going to bankrupt the league.
It's going to bankrupt the league because they're about to put the machine behind her.
What's the girl that went to the Sparks? Steph Curry guy.
Oh, Ionaska or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Sabrina. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Cameron.
First name Sabrina.
The bigs, the guards, everybody in this league has to move.
This is about to be a phenomenal resurgence for women's basketball, but if Caitlin if she doesn't have a Candace Parker style year, she don't have to win the championship, but she's got to at least win Rookie of the Year. She better be in MVP contention. And they better make the playoffs because if they don't, people are gonna be looking like, were you just a college hype machine?
So is that how Jade has to be looked at? Jade has to be looked
and
at.
That's why I brought this up because now that you've showcased her first match at WrestleMania, she's
got to be dominant like Goldberg.
But that's the issue because we've already seen it. She can't be Goldberg. But when would it be safe for her? When would it be safe? Black, tell me. When would it be safe for her to take her first loss?
Nowhere near within a year.
Nowhere near within the near future.
I'll tell you that right now. You're stopped. They're already turning against her already.
Already.
It's already happening.
Remember when me and you was talking? Remember me and you was talking about D at one point when I said, everybody is, we talked about Jade when she was in AEW, and we talked about how she wrestled and she was green and this, that, and the third, and everybody was like, well, oh. She's coming to the WWE Performance Center, and I know they're gonna give her all the training that she needs. They're gonna show her the way. They're gonna do all these things. Maybe Jade is Jade, and maybe she is this version. She is the Luger of professional wrestling. Luger was jacked,
phenomenal body,
but he only can go so far in regards to in ring. Jade may just be the same way. She just may be loose.
She may genuinely never get better. And fans have to accept that. Yeah. And I feel like fans aren't. Like, I feel like fans like, she's gonna get better. She's gonna get there. And then, like prime example, Luger was trained by Barry Windham and Matsuda.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't get no better, then you just don't get no better.
Jade's getting trained in the dungeon. So the
Jade is in the dungeon.
So if she don't get no better from the dungeon, then we have a problem.
She's just and Black. That's why I said putting her right there with Bianca, because Bianca has such a huge following and fan base, and every time she's on screen, people watch her.
Yeah.
Naomi brings outside fans. And now you got Jade standing right next to them on the biggest stage in the world. 176,000 people all weekend watch Jade. And then she also comes out and has a squash against Chelsea Green. And
but what's going to push her?
What's her ceiling?
Like,
If
who
she
is she
doesn't
gonna
get
go
better
against?
in the ring,
She gotta go against Nia. A Nia match is waiting. She owed that rematch with Nia.
but you know what? Then I'm gonna tell you exactly what her best case scenario is. Her best case scenario is that Tiffany Stratton does not become Charlotte Flair.
Well, I'm sorry that's happening.
I think it's gonna happen, unfortunately.
It's gonna happen.
But that's her rival. Her and Tiffany Stratton will main event a WrestleMania night one year.
So who is she? Who is she the next? You would say what? Becky?
No,
Becky
who is Jade is the next.
If we compare it out to the horsewoman,
Becky, she can't be anybody else. She can't be anybody else in the horsewoman.
Molly Holly.
besides, so just in ring, or are we talking about star power? Like star power
in ring and star power, because Mercedes is a gigantic star. Charlotte is arguably the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Right.
Bayley is the biggest possible fan favorite out of everybody. Like, there's more.
She's the role model.
She's the role model. She's Bayley. And then I like what you did. And then you got Becky, who's the biggest character and the biggest, she's the biggest face of the company. But I still don't even think. I think Jade's ceiling, I'm going to give it two different ways. If Jade doesn't get better in ring, I think Jade's ceiling is
China. And that's sad.
I think that's her. If she doesn't get better in ring, I think Jade will be the one they'll let have another intergender match. Like, they let Rhea do it with Akira. They'll let her do it because she's.
Yeah, but I don't count that one because Rhea was going to beat her.
You knew that.
That's one of those we're watching wrestling, type deal. Because I feel like Akira could probably knock her head loose in real life.
If she gets better in ring, she's never gonna be a 5-star mat technician classic wrestler.
Oh no,
hell no.
If she gets better in ring, I could see her being Baron Corbin.
Okay.
Doing everything with whatever character you give her, she's gonna do the best she can with it. It may not get over. Yeah, whatever character you give her, it may not be the best, but you know what? If she don't get better in ring, she's JBL's Baron Corbin character. If she don't get better, if she gets better, she's like Lone Wolf. She's that cool. I think that's her ceiling. I think Lone Wolf Baron Corbin is her ceiling.
That's why I can't see her doing anything else.
Not the best wrestler, but it's such an interesting character and presence on screen that you're like, okay, I rock with you.
She needs to train with Chad Gable.
No, you saw.
So it's weird because he was already training with Danielson. So training with Gable ain't a step up.
That's a lateral move.
I think.
I got his next. That's pretty shattered. It's not. She needs
to do, and I'm gonna tell you what she needs. She needs to do exactly what nobody wants her to do. She needs to get in the studio and get in the ring with Natalya and Charlotte Flair. Those are the only two women who can help her. Sure. Natalya can help her with her technique. Charlotte can help her utilize her size. Because that's the thing. No matter how many style. No matter how many men Jade wrestles or trains with, no man can move like her because she's a woman that's fit. Charlotte is the closest person to her that can help her. Okay, you're stiff here. You need to be a little more fluid. She's the only person.
And she's the only person to really make Ronda look good at that size difference.
Exactly.
Because that was a hell of a big boot.
Yeah, it is. It was. Ooh, Jesus.
Shout out to Shane. Big boot.
Shout out to Shane, mad about the big boot, but he hate that. But and I also think, and don't get me wrong, I know it's Asuka, but I also think that it should have been squash. I think it should have been more of a squash. I don't think the match. I don't think you should have had to be competitive. Like, just leave Asuka on the apron if you care, but don't have it be competitive or anything. Have it be a 5-minute. Have Bianca get her thing in. Have Naomi do a rear view and show that butt, and then have Jade come in and go crazy, and that's it.
Right.
Because it kind of sucked. It didn't suck the air out of the building, but it just kind of was not a good setup for
the main event.
Arguably ended up going on to be match of probably the night, which was Sammy and Gunther. It didn't set that up.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That was before the main event.
That was before the main event.
but they made up for it.
Oh, yeah, they
my God.
Absolutely. They went crazy. I need to go back and rewatch it because I was kind of sleepy during it. So it was like, dang, yeah, I know.
That was a banger, bro.
What I saw, it was great. I don't like how bad Sammy got beat down before the comeback. I think it should have been gradually all through the match be the beat down, because the way he was beat down and hulked up, I despised it. I despised the Hulk up because it was like a Hulk up, and it was like an almost invulnerable to pain kind of Hulk up where
actually it was like a fish. It was like a fish flopping out of water type trying to get up out
it
of
was it. It was like Hulk up into the match.
Yeah.
Damn, it should have been in that doggone match in the first place.
I still think it should have been Jay, and that would have saved us.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with Gable. Now
they've had banger matches,
but now we also see why Gable didn't get that match either, though, which I'm okay with. I
wouldn't want Gable to lose that
match.
Exactly. But Triple H is to define his era. It's why KO and Sammy were in high-profile mid-card title matches. He gave them the straps last year. I thought they were going to put the US on KO too, so Triple H could be like, both my guys got belts again, but they didn't, thank the Lord. We'll talk about it in a second. But Sammy beating Gunther, I don't like it because you're not going to get a world championship reign out of this. Like with Ilya beating Gunther, Ilya became NXT champ, and
it has to mean something.
It's got to mean something. And now Gunther's going to come up to the main roster. Ilya's going to come to the main roster eventually, and I think we're going to see him get a world title run eventually too.
That's going to be the next couple of weeks. I tell you, trick with it.
Chad is not beating Sammy in France. I'll tell you that right freaking now.
No.
Not in France.
But that's also why I don't think Chad.
Are you sure?
I would love for Chad to win, but Sammy in French, I don't know. For Canadian, that crowd is about to bust.
All right, let's put it like this: since Vince is no longer the man in WWE, will they still be doing hometown hoe-outs?
Probably. Occasionally.
So Sammy didn't technically get a hoe-out on Monday. But he got his.
He got hold down. He
got his behind whooped. So sure,
I ain't gonna lie. When you get Germaned out your wife's hands,
getting beat up
out of her hand. That was
that was funny. It was like, hold up, hey.
Yeah, he got German.
I was hollering at my TV when they showed the angle he came and got him from behind. I was like, yeah.
The kid should have been there.
The brain buster was cool. I'm glad he brought the brain buster.
Nasty.
It looked terrible. It looked terrible. It was Ring of Honor style.
Yeah.
What Gunther ate it and sold it well.
Very. Now I just don't like how quickly he made it to that corner to set up the haluva kick.
I still don't think the haluva kick is a finisher. Like for me.
It's like a signature to me.
It's a signature, but Sammy don't have a finisher.
To be a finisher, if anything.
So it's wild because he's gone so long never beating anybody with it. I don't think I can take it as a finisher now. You know what I mean?
But he used to lead. So in Ring of Honor, that was his lead up to.
That was the lead up to it.
The turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And then the haluva kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because it's like he did the haluva kick for so long that it's like it's not a finisher to me in WWE because he didn't do the lead up.
But my thing is, like, the lead up, if he's going to do the lead up got to be right at the same turnbuckle because he can't crawl all the way across the other side of the ring to then step into the turnbuckle.
Yeah, I agree. I think they were trying to set that up because it was like it was such an out of the surprise, out of
nowhere. Yeah,
that Gunther was just stunned. Which still, I don't care because the way he ate it, that should have been the finish of the match. I would have been fine with him finishing the match with the Ring Buster since he's never used it in WWE. I'd been fine with him finishing that.
Yeah, that was ugly.
It was ugly. But it was a good match to lead into the main event. I'm glad it was placed where it was because you needed to get the crowd back hype after the last two matches before the tag match. I'm gonna gloss over the tag match only because everybody's watched it. We don't need a recap of how crazy that was.
Yeah.
The Rock, like y'all mentioned in the beginning, The Rock telling the ref, if you ring that bell, I'm fired.
If you count, you fired.
I was like,
I don't mess around.
Like, I was even explaining it to Shanda, and she was like, "What?" She's like, "Ain't that a disqualification?" I was like, oh my God, I love you for knowing what a disqualification is. Like, you touched my heart just now. But no, The Rock is on the board. Because there's some people that still, I think there's people who don't follow wrestling the way we do that was wondering if The Rock being was storyline. Like, no, he's really on it. So no, him doing this is the storyline.
Yeah.
The Rock bottom through the table. Huge spot for Cody. He needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Seth getting beat down the night before having that major match and getting speared through the barricade, it hurt because it was like,
and then
they're really about to go bloodline because the question was, who really needs to win this tag match? Does it need to be Cody and Roman 1-on-1, or does it need to be bloodline rules with shenanigans to help that happen?
I've said that plenty of times. It needed to be bloodline because nobody wants a regular 1-on-1 redemption part 2 match of what we know.
Traditional wrestling fans love that. Traditional.
What?
The redemption, babyface, 1-on-1, no outside interference, the best man won. Traditional wrestling fans love that.
Nah, we don't need no normal match, man. We need some head honchos, some hitters, some
shenanigans.
The Avengers.
It needs to be the Avengers because we gonna talk about it, but that's what happened. Cody assembled the Avengers real quick.
Because finishing your story don't come easy.
It don't come easy, dog.
All the villains coming.
The Rock. Before I go and say what I was about to say, that belt whip. Which was worse, that belt whip or the Bianca hair whip against Sasha?
No, Bianca hair whip, dog.
The dude that recorded from where he was sitting heard it, and that they said, "Wakaya."
Yeah, it sounded.
Hold on, do that again.
Wakaya.
Stupid. I ain't never been a slave, and I will never pretend or act. One more time. I will never pretend to know what our ancestors went through. But if I had to imagine what a sound sounded like, that hair whip was. But that belt whip was equally nasty.
Hold on, which belt whip? Because there was plenty. The
finish belt whip
right
before Rock hit him with the people's elbow. When Roman hit him with that belt, I was like,
I ain't gonna lie, I don't see how they ain't crap themselves because the way they hit him that hard.
He was hitting Cody hard with that belt, bro.
Can we give The Rock credit for one of the? It wasn't so much subtle, but we didn't think about it the way I thought about it. When he was just like, I'm gonna give this belt to Mama Rhodes, and I'm gonna say, all I can say is that you're welcome. This man turned Maui heel.
Yeah,
that was genius.
He did. It's Rock though.
He had kids ready to fight Moana DVDs.
Oh Jesus, he did.
I ain't gonna lie. I wish it was a moment where he gave that belt. I ain't gonna lie, it was messed up. I wish he would have slapped his stepdaddy.
His stepdaddy looks like he's a whisper away from labor to reward. So we gonna leave him where he at because one of them belts. He's a whisper away from labor to reward. He there. I got that from my woman. That means you on your last breath. Stepdad.
I know what it means.
Look, like this. You're welcome.
That's exactly. The Rock pins Cody clean. Let's call it clean.
It was clean.
Sets up a story for the future, but also plants not a seed, but plants the roots. Bruh, the rewind of the face. The only thing that was missing was the rubber duck. I'm mad nobody had the thought. I'm mad nobody had the foresight to bring a rubber duck. I'm upset. Wrestling fans, we got to do better because I'm sorry. As sad as the look was, it was the rubber duck that was just like, really? Yeah, exactly. The final pose on the ramp with double belts, which was cool. So some people don't like that The Rock brought out the People's Championship. I love it. I love it.
He's the People's Champion.
I like it though. I mean, that's
because you can't please everybody.
I don't understand.
You can't please everybody.
That he brought what?
Yeah. That don't like that he brought out the People's Championship for night one.
He held it up as
and held it up with Roman. I mean, they're both.
Muhammad Ali's wife gave it to him.
Dog, I'm gonna take that belt everywhere I go. If that was the case,
that's coming with me to the supermarket.
It's goated.
It's
but it doesn't plant seeds of doubt. It plants roots and the tree trunk of doubt that Kobe. I said Kobe, Lord rest. That Cody does not finish the story because how with bloodline rules is this man supposed to win? The Rock said, "I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you don't walk out of here with it."
Yeah, we already know what that means.
Okay, so night 2, the better night in my opinion. Arguably the best WrestleMania night 2 out of the 2 nights since they've done it. I think that's the best 2 night. I think that's the best second night.
Yeah.
Drew and Seth felt longer than 10 minutes, but they did everything they needed to in it.
It was 10 minutes?
It was only 10 minutes and 30 seconds, bro.
Oh, I ain't no damn way.
But it was so much
It was so much hard hitting.
They fit so much in it, but that's where the excellence and the where Seth is underappreciated. He fits so much in a match that you like. He been in there a minute. No, 10 minutes, bro.
It felt like at least 20.
Jimmy and them was longer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's crazy.
Sammy and Gunther was longer.
But we understand why 10 minutes storyline wise, Seth was not
down.
100%.
He was not 100%. Drew finally gets his moment in front of the crowd. It was amazing. I'm happy for him. Can we get CM Punk on commentary more often though? Because he kills it as usual. But we already knew he was a great commentator.
We disagree.
No, you disagree.
You disagree.
You disagree.
Okay,
you
okay.
disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
He's great on the mic.
One wasn't his best work to me.
No, I didn't say it was his best work.
Oh, why are you doing your hand like this?
No, it's not his best work.
Then
this is not his best work to me.
It's not his best work.
Yeah, this is not his best work to me.
Hey, look. I got
Look. I got.
Yeah, I said because you was over here.
You like I ain't got the ring on. I ain't had a ring. Shout out to DDM.
No, never again on this podcast will we ever do that. Never. Shout out to the Chop Shop. You know, y'all are gonna catch that one and run off with it. I already know we about to get tagged on that one, bro. Drew wins clean. Claymore. It took 3 claymores, but he claymored.
That man with like 5 claymore. Because I'm trying to take that first one right
Ron,
after.
Don't make me pull mine out, bro.
No, don't pull yours out.
Don't
Pause.
None right there.
Pause. No Diddy. Look, don't make me pull mine out. No Diddy.
Don't pull it out.
I'm gonna save it for the belt episode. I'm gonna save it. Shout out to Drew getting his moment, but he should have just celebrated and left. My man went over to the announcer table, and now, to be fair, it fits heel Drew. Yeah. It fits troll Drew. That's what he should have done. That's what he was supposed to do. I'm glad he did it.
You thought I wasn't gonna win?
But
what are you, Batman?
The suck it,
Rachel.
Like I be trying to help people understand and explain something. There's a such thing as too late and too far. You can push some stuff too far where there's no coming back from. And I think the suck it.
Yeah.
Just push CM Punk over the edge.
No, like it wasn't a stand.
It was violent. It was violent.
It was like the.
And
it was
Punk pulled him off that table, took that arm brace off, stomped him in the face, and hit him with the brace. And then you heard Judgment Day's Damian Priest theme song, and you were like,
it's happening.
It's happening.
Poetic justice, though. Seth cashed in at a WrestleMania. Seth loses and somebody cashes in at a WrestleMania. It worked. I loved it because at this point, everybody was like, Damian Priest is never going to be world champ. He's not cashing in.
I didn't know how they was going to do it, bro.
Well,
they did it.
They did it, and they did it excellently. Priest
as soon as he jumped up on that table, jaw jacking at CM Punk, I was
you knew what was coming.
Yeah. I was like, bro, it's time to go. Nope.
Shout out to Drew McIntyre. Shout out to Drew McIntyre for giving Priest the best South of Heaven he's hit since he's been with the company. Though.
Yes.
Yeah, that was high. And then we got to give it to my boy, Drew, 3-time WWE champion. 3-time champion.
3-time champ.
He got it in front of the fans, so
he got it in front of the fans.
He finished his story, but guess what? He now has broken dreams.
But when that 3 count hit and Priest actually won,
it was wild.
If you didn't know that this was the Triple H era before, you better know now. Because Punishment Martinez is your world heavyweight champion.
Man. First, how beautiful that is to see someone like that that you watched at Ring of Honor, NXT, WWE,
and now the main roster. That man has won the only mid-card title he has not won where he's worked is the IC title. It's amazing to see a mid-card guy actually get elevated to world champion status.
He's Triple Crown, right?
Yeah, he's a Triple Crown champ. Yep. He is. Wow.
He got US, he got both tags.
And it's crazy because like people don't even remember his US run.
I remember it.
But it's like he was Ring of Honor television champ, North American champ, US champ, tag champ, and now world heavyweight champion.
John Cena.
It's incredible. I'm proud. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of the fact that he's gone from 300 pounds and wearing mascara to this now.
To the
Bro, I don't like the bisexual Undertaker thing. Like, it's stupid.
No, that's not cool.
It's stupid to me.
That's not cool at all, TJ. I mean, excuse me.
It's funny. I didn't say that people should call him that, but
T-Jizzle.
T-Jizzle. T-Jizz.
T-Jizz. And it's crazy that I actually
you're not gonna break me.
It's crazy. It's crazy that I actually like Night 2 better because I'm gonna look over if we're looking over the card. You got Drew and Seth, Priest and Drew. Then you have the Pride versus the Final Testament in the Philadelphia Street Fight.
That was
8 minutes.
Fun.
It was cool. It was fun. Bubba Ray being
Pride though. I wonder where that name came from.
That was the name they chose, and then they never ran with it, and then back out. Bubba Ray being the special guest referee was cool. The What's Up spot was cool. It was I guess it was kind of like an homage to the Chicago Street Fight with
Snoop Dogg made it.
Snoop Dogg being involved. We need him on commentary once a month.
Once a month because he was hilarious.
I prefer
the match
him
was sponsored by Gin and Juice.
I prefer him over Booker all day. I don't like that the match was sponsored by Gin and Juice because there was another match that was sponsored with black people in it by Wingstop.
It was
and then the Mexicans and the Hispanics, they were sponsored by Tropicana, I think.
I was about to say, wasn't it Coronas or was it? It was like
it was the alcohol beverage version of and then Jay and Jimmy was Dude Wipes.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
because that match was shit. So
it was.
Were they getting pumped?
I think they were getting pumped. I think Trips put the advertiser up there at the end because he was like, y'all are shitting the bed right now, so let's go ahead and wipe it up and go home because y'all are shitting the bed. The Philadelphia Street Fight was cool. That's not a match that anybody's gonna remember. For a lot of people, they were wondering what was next for the Final Testament. You got your answer on NXT. Love that they're in NXT, both of them. Cross still had work left to be done at NXT. AOP should have never left NXT when they did. I love that they went back. I'm cool with it. What up, Black?
Let's not forget, before the Drew and Seth match, Stephanie McMahon opened up Night 2.
Bro, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was a shocker.
I popped.
Yeah.
I said, oh, shoot.
And we're going to rewind it again because our girl, Hillary Banks.
I thought you were about to say Hillary Clinton.
Who? No. AKA Coco, son of America the Beautiful.
She sang that.
She sang that.
Look, I felt I was in church.
I ain't gonna lie. I listen.
You better sing, girl.
Yeah.
Miss
But Stephanie coming out was a much needed shock to the system. No pun intended, being a Triple H era. But that was this is Triple H's era.
Yeah, officially.
She left when Vince came back, and we were like, well, we'll probably never see Steph again. And then Vince left, and she starts Night 2 of Mania.
Yeah.
And says that this is Triple H's era.
Yeah.
She said, my daddy who?
Yeah.
Her daddy is Paul Levesque.
Yeah, really.
I was shocked when
Daddy.
Rock said Vince. I said,
wow.
He said the no word.
LA Knight and AJ Styles didn't need this match.
Great
Great match. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good match. It's weird because AJ said that he's starting to slow down and this is his final year. And I'm like, I don't see it, but I see it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see where he's on, but I can see him saying he's hurting a lot backstage. He's hurting at home. I can see it because you've been wrestling for 24 years and your ring work the first 15, 16 years.
Then damn companies that put your body to the limit. New Japan, you had TNA. I said, oh my god.
You had WCW, TNA, NWA Wildside, IWA,
IWA.
Yeah, AJ was all over. Then you had the 10, 12
He never
years.
appeared in Lucha Underground, did he?
No, AJ wasn't.
A journeyman. That journey is getting ready to come to an end. Sadly.
It is, sadly, but
sadly.
Hey, it is what it is. He's had a phenomenal career. He lost me as a fan once the N-word came out, but other than that, he's
you
had
tolerate him.
I tolerate you because you had a great career and you're great in the ring. So whatever.
Great.
And like I said with LA Knight, and he probably don't have a bigger fan than us. I've been a fan since Eli Drake. I actually was watching NWA Power when he was on there on YouTube. I was actually watching him on there.
Yeah.
I love Eli Drake, but
Dummy.
his ring work just does not equate to superstardom. He has a very straightforward cookie cutter just moveset. I don't know, other than the vertical suplex that he does, everything else is just, and I don't know if that's going to hurt him, but at the same time and we thought Bobby Roode, so working safe saves you from, career-ending injuries, eventually for him, but maybe that's where he's at this point in his career, where he's saving himself for this run. I do think that he's going to take that U.S. championship from Logan. I don't know why. I feel like they still have a story that needs to be told from that promo they had. We know the promo battles can happen. So I think that he's going to take that belt. Beating AJ Styles definitely helps you become a big name in the WWE.
Yeah.
He's not beating Cody for a world title. That's not happening. He could beat Damian.
At this point, we don't know who's going to beat Cody for the world title.
Listen, if my guy Sean Spears has started producing matches for NXT, if he's done in ring, I'm fine with that. My guy has done everything he needed to do for his fans.
He's a family man now.
He's a family man.
The perfect team.
They got 1, 2 kids.
2 on 1 on the way. Well, 1 and 1 on the way.
Yep, 1 on the way. At this point in LA Knight's career, it's probably best if they want to put a world title on him. He's got 2 years.
Yeah, because he's already 40.
I think he's got 2 years before it's, I could see him. Now, I will say this. Outside of maybe a Braun Breaker, a Carmelo Hayes, or an Ilya, there's nobody else that needs to win Money in the Bank. I think LA Knight needs Money in the Bank, and I think he needs to cash it in and win the world title.
Yeah.
I think that's the way they need it. I think he needs to win the U.S. title real quick, get some championship pedigree experience, and then he needs to win Money in the Bank, and then he needs to win the world title.
I'm with that.
Because eventually I fear that fans are gonna sour on him. Not like a mass of it, but the yeahs are gonna slow down.
Yeah.
Eventually. So unless you turn him heel, which I would love to see a heel over LA Knight.
Honestly, I don't think you'll get rid of the yeah chance because the yeah chance are now the what chance.
They're what?
What? Yeah.
Like,
Damn,
Yeah.
you get a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus LA Knight match. You get a man. That'll be a
I
hell
would
of a
love
match.
for them to get on. I would love for them to have a what? Yeah, off. I love
What?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Night winning
I'm about to get
clean.
tired of that.
I feel like the finish was a little flat, but he
Yeah.
won clean. Like it ended kind. Was that on purpose? Yeah.
No, it wasn't on purpose.
No, I mean, it was perfectly timed.
Oh.
But I feel like the finish came out of nowhere. But hey, he won. He won clean. The Slim Jim thing is getting aggravating already. Like the car and the giveaway and like, okay, we get it. He's the face of Slim Jim.
They're getting real sus with this Slim Jim stuff.
It really is.
The guy was in the crowd.
He was
ready.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Nothing. Fast forward. Next, Logan Paul, and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Right person won.
Good damn
match. Speed was the best part of the match though. Him
Honestly,
cussing out Randy.
Yeah.
And that kick.
That kick looked personal.
That was a this.
That
was
Sparta.
Yeah, Rick James
looked personal. I think because now I ain't gonna lie, Speed was talking out the side of his neck.
No, he was. He needed that kick. He deserved that kick.
Like, all I saw that neck said.
My man went.
He flew.
Oh my god.
But it was the cat. It was the cat flying off for me that took me out though. That's what the best part was.
He flew.
The RKO on the table.
You heard that ad come out like, oh.
Yeah, that was one of those, like, if you watched Avengers when Bruce went to go look for the Infinity Stone and she punched the Hulk out of it, that was dope. That's how Randy kicked him.
The frog splash was beautiful from Logan.
The frog splash was
beautiful.
The
best celebrity in ring of all time.
I used to want to hold out for Bad Bunny and Pat.
Yeah, I know.
But no, it's Logan. It's not even.
It's not even a question no more.
So it's crazy because I still say in terms of best debut celebrity in ring is Pat. Nobody had a better in ring debut as a celebrity. Okay. But in terms of best celebrity with volume and matches and gave you everything, it's Logan. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know who he reminds me of?
Snooki.
He reminds me of Shayna Baszler in NXT. Remember that first year, the way she picked it up, it was like, damn, she's actually she was like Kurt Angle. Like you saw her get better on screen every night. I feel like that with Logan. And the fact that Logan is doing it in high profile matches, like he don't have a miss.
Yeah.
He don't have a miss, and he doesn't miss in high profile matches. Right. The only match I think that I might not care for is SummerSlam when we went. But that's just because I just kind of didn't care for the match.
Yeah.
Man, Miz was kind of flat. Miz was
flat, and that was
the crowd really wasn't caring for Logan.
And that was when they had Ciampa being his lackey, and it just kind of was like
and Maurice and
Maurice, so but no, now Logan is scary good. Like
top player. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he is the longest reigning singles champ in the company now.
He's losing that belt back at France.
You think so?
He's gonna have to, because I mean, I can see him holding it
to SummerSlam as like the heel giving the babyface a big, unless he does it at Money in the Bank. We don't know if Triple H is gonna try and still consider Money in the Bank a part of the Big Five. I mean, I feel like he probably will, but it's also in Canada. It's not a big one this year. It's in Canada.
I think they're going to try to stay away from that aspect, because Money in the Bank's going to fall flat every other year, because depending on who wins it, who loses it, everybody's going to agree with the cash in. Some people ain't. Like the cash in, maybe like, damn, that was a wasteless point of hold. Like Austin Theory, that point in his career,
I was fine with him cashing it in on the mid card title. I think, hey,
because we knew realistically,
you're not beating Roman.
Realistically,
so I'm fine with that. But that's like with Bronson Reed, and y'all know, and y'all can vouch, and anybody that listens to this, y'all know I've said for years, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner should go after a mid-card title. What Bronson Reed announced on Monday, whoever wins between you and Chad, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Cash in the trophy for a title shot at a pay-per-view. Make that Battle Royal mean something.
I'm kind of upset that he's not going to get a championship anytime soon.
You don't think Bronson's gonna get anything anytime soon?
You don't think so?
That's interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
I could see LA getting a short
because
run
if Ilya comes up and goes to Raw, he's
So
automatically going to that mid card.
I could see Bronson getting traded, and after LA has his short US title run, he could be, he's a monster enough to where fans would hate that he beat LA Knight.
Honestly, yeah, I think the US title perfectly fits Bronson. I think the Intercontinental title out of Chad or either Ilya's gonna bring prestige to it like Gunther did.
Like
He
Gunther
may
did.
do it better. He might
I think
better.
Chad would too. I don't want to knock Chad.
He would Americanize it.
Run.
I honestly, I think the U.S. title would fit perfectly on Chad, obviously. But
I mean, that's an obvious. No, I like that though. I like that. I mean, Ruby Soho has announced that she is pregnant.
By who? Angelo, whatever.
Don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
Back to what we were saying. Jesus, who? Somebody actually.
I don't even damn care. Look,
we're not gonna do that. You're
right. Stay away from that.
Jesus, somebody actually. Wow.
I mean, Ruby be cute sometimes.
All right. Moving on.
She looks like a bug Pokemon.
No.
Every time. Every time.
You can't do that.
She looked like the pins at the bowling alley.
Y'all still.
That's how she built. Yeah. Yep. Yep. You remember Home Movies on Cartoon Network? Yes. She's like one of them characters. That's exactly what she looked like.
I love that show.
Oh my God. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Jesus. The right person won the triple threat, but it's kind of getting to a point to where if they're gonna make Logan a showcase champion, he's got to wrestle on Raw more or SmackDown, wherever he goes. He's got to wrestle more. Like he wrestles at pay-per-views, which is fine. He's a champion. I'm fine with that. But if they're gonna actually keep this belt on him and make him be somebody, you gotta
trade Ricochet to SmackDown and take that title up off of him.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Ricochet ever holds gold again.
Nope.
They just keep teasing. They are dirty with how they do him. They be like,
we're
gonna make Ricochet a highlight for 3 weeks.
Hey, look,
and the highlight of Monday nights.
Your significant other is more over than.
Let's be honest. That might be why he got that last push, because of how great they view Sam.
And they was like, y'all need to get my baby. I'm trying to announce my baby a little bit more. But I can say this: Ricochet,
when he gets his opportunity,
he gets more TV time than anybody.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that 450 off from the ring to the table, we've never seen that before.
I know his ribs was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I gotta do it.
I was like, bro, did y'all really catch that on film? Whatever happens with Logan, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. At the point, not because it's a bad thing, but the match that I probably was looking most forward to that did not deliver the way I wanted it to was Bayley and Io. Great match.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah,
but it just didn't.
It didn't connect with me like I thought it should.
Like I thought. And my question is that more on Io or more on Bayley? Do their styles just not mesh?
Possibly.
Was that their first one-on-one?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that was their first ever one-on-one. So that
house shows or something.
Y'all need to go on a house show circuit and work on that a little.
Yeah.
But do you think that's a good idea for WrestleMania matches? Have they done that?
Yeah. So that's actually why we didn't get Hogan and Flair at WrestleMania 8.
I remember that
because they did it on the house show,
and
fans they claim that fans weren't responding well to the match. No, people were cheering Ric Flair because they were tired of Hulk Hogan at that point, and they didn't want to do it. That's also why Jake the Snake ended up not getting a push 1 year, because they were over cheering Jake instead of cheering Hogan. I think that was like WrestleMania 7 time. Like it wasn't that he had this big match plan, but that's why his push.
And they took him away. Yep.
But Bayley and Io, they did what they could in the 8 minutes they got, because
the right person won.
Right person. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's weird because it's like the Royal Rumble winners have not been winning the way we grew up with them winning.
Yeah.
Like Roman beat 3 consecutive.
But it was good for a champion that can speak and actually do promos. Yeah. Because I mean, it was good for culture wise for EO, the Kabuki Warriors, and all that stuff. And Trips is big on culture, but it was good to put the championship back in the hands of somebody who can actually talk on the mic, who can actually get in the ring and have compelling stories with other people. I think EO was limited.
I don't like that she's a white meat babyface again. I owe it all to you fans. You talking to the fans for the last 3 years, girl. It ain't no you like stop.
Bianca got to get her get back with her. I see that coming.
Oh, it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. I don't like that they made her an instant baby face again. Like she can be Bailey is cool enough to be the tweener. She's cool. Bailey actually could be the female Kevin Owens, where she's good enough to go beat people up in the ring. Mm-hmm. She don't have to. I love you guys. I love my fans. She don't have to do all that.
Yeah.
All that's to say whatever because y'all know why we here.
Avengers
assemble. Come to me, my X-Men. Cause
that was me with the shield right
there. Yeah, because first of all, they did amazing by teasing, and I'm gonna tell you why I didn't know who was gonna win the second night. It wasn't Bloodline Rules. It had nothing to do with the storyline. They gave Cody a whole New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view entrance. That nigga had a whole Wrestle Kingdom entrance with a mask and the
the fact that it sounded like Roman's theme.
But you know when I knew he was gonna win? When Brandy came out though.
When Brandy came out, I was like,
that queen
y'all done already killed him in front of his mama and his stepdaddy. He's gonna win tonight.
Not in front of his
wife. And then Roman came out with the entrance. He came out with, I was like,
and that joint was
maybe not, because that was hard.
Hey, and then how he came out, like, bro, and then Roman's this is the best he's looked.
Yeah,
probably in his career.
Yeah, no, he looks phenomenal. Do y'all think the shenanigans took too long to get started?
No.
No, just right. Get it out the way.
I feel like
last year was better.
I feel like it was I feel like that was 30 minutes that we didn't need 30 minutes.
What you mean, like of them? Just
I feel like the first half of that match went on a little too long before the shenanigans started.
Well, I would say this
after what they went through the night before. Same thing with Seth. Like that's why I felt
but
like
people were expecting. Like I think people were so ready to get to it though because we knew something was going to happen.
We knew shenanigans. But I still don't think you needed 20. I still don't think you needed 30 minutes though.
Well, I can see from their perspective, you don't want the shenanigans to overshadow.
It was going to regardless. It was going to regardless. Y'all know it was because that's what we were. We were waiting to see what was going to happen with The Rock. We was waiting to see if all these teases over the weeks with John Cena being on the production truck, with him being in the background, was he going to show up? Was Austin going to show up? Was Jimmy and Jay going to get involved? Were we going to get an MJF appearance? Was Solo going to get involved? And maybe Jacob Fatu coming out? Like, we were so anxious to see what actually was going to happen. It don't matter if they wrestled an hour. The whole first 47 minutes would not have mattered if the last 13 minutes was shenanigans.
Well,
if MJF,
I would say it depends on what fan is watching. If a fan's watching for, I get the storyline aspect, you get the pop-ins, but as far as when they go look back at it, if they say, hey, this actual match was a great match.
You think anybody's gonna go back and look at that match? Like, honestly.
Should you?
I don't think so. In the scheme of the Bloodline story, because this is how the Bloodline Act 1 of the Bloodline ended, as we will talk about next episode. I think people are going to be more focused and more ready to see, because they're going to go back. Because I'm going to tell you exactly what's happened. Now that they just started uploading all this Bloodline stuff on YouTube, the entire saga they're not going to highlight their wrestling match. They're going to highlight Jey Uso coming down and Jimmy Uso coming down, then Jey Uso coming down. And the spear off the stage. That's probably my favorite part of the shenanigans, actually. I think my favorite part was the spear off the stage because it made up for y'all terrible match the night before.
That was their match in a couple seconds.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah, that's
Boy, wonder who I do who.
That was their match.
What's in a wonder?
That was their match.
I was gonna say who wrote the Book of Love. You took me right back.
I was gonna go who wrote the Book of Love because I did watch the Temptations last week, but I had to go What's in a Wonder Ball because
chapter 1 says you love her with all your
heart. So that happens. They get back to wrestling, which I do love that it wasn't shenanigan. It was shenanigan wrestle.
It was very much spread out, and I want to say this: Roman probably has one of the best crossroads in the business.
Oh, absolutely. That was a clean ass crossroad. But you know what? I think my favorite thing about the entire story is that nobody's talking about enough. I'm not going to say nobody noticed it. Cody never hit the triple crossroad the entire 2 years. Not a single time.
No,
they teased it every time, and he never hit it. He went to hit the third one, and then the same thing happened. Why do you keep backing up to the ropes? Here comes Solo again.
So what gave it away? Because I think he looked at the rope. He said, "I ain't going over there." And then he looked over. I was like, Cody.
He said, I was like, well, here comes Solo, and here comes the thumb, and then it's John Cena. It was cool. I do like that Cena came out for Solo because it was a callback to their match. So I do think that fit. I think that was the best cameo.
The lineup was great, especially when The Rock coming out next. Oh man.
Then you got the face off of the once in a lifetime. Sorry, twice in a lifetime.
Three times in a lifetime. You get the look in sync. You get to look together. All right, I'm gonna look this way. I'm gonna give the Hulk Hogan and Rock vibes. I'm gonna look this way. I'm gonna look back at you. I'm gonna look this way. And now we here. Now the rock bottom, the whole you can't see me. I was like, yeah. I mean,
they could have done something else to that.
Yeah.
And they could have gave John a little momentum. Like what they should have done instead of the rock bottom was they should have let Rock hit the people's elbow on him. So they should have let Cena hit a couple punches and then Rock counter spine bust to people's elbow. Because I'm sorry, but let's be honest. Which move do you prefer to see? The rock bottom or the people's elbow?
That people's elbow in that crowd. Because when he hit it that other night.
Yeah.
When he hit it, I was like, and you know what my favorite nuance of the entire move is? The leg slap on the way down. I love that.
I ain't gonna lie. If he would have did the slide like how he did with the shade.
I'm glad he did. I'm glad he didn't. No, let that be a once in a lifetime moment. Because you can never, even if you duplicate it, it's like.
That was smooth. It was like a James.
He knew them shoes were slippery.
Because what was the dopest part about it? There you go, Sharon. That was the dopest part about it. The slide was dope, but before the slide, the way he did the shirt, the untuck, I was like, oh, this nigga is that's when you knew The Rock was different. The way he had untucked and then threw I was like,
I said he different.
He different. The rock bottom fell a little flat, but whatever, because he took off the belt.
Get up, boy. Get up, boy.
And then this is where the shock came. This is where the shock came because even when Shanda saw who came, she was like,
I popped. I ain't gonna lie. That was a loud.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
You popped.
And y'all know I'm not a Mark Calloway fan.
You popped. Make America great again.
I popped for Mark Calloway. When that gong hit, I was like, oh shit. These troops is going crazy. Now, I did not pop the way I would have popped if glass
shattered. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Glass shattering would have made it just a smidgen better.
I would have screamed.
The scream I would have scrumped.
I would have scrumped because guess what? That stunner would have been.
Yeah, and because that's all I was waiting on, just to see how The Rock take the stunner.
So that stunner.
Yeah.
And not to mention what happens, but not to mention what happens to Austin. Does Roman spear him?
He gotta eat that spear.
So something's gotta happen. So that's the thing about Taker. Taker disappeared, but everybody else got to get back somehow. Austin would have had to have eaten a spear or Superman punch at least.
Yeah, I would say Superman punch.
Yeah,
I would say Superman punch, and then I ain't gonna lie. For a second, I thought AEW and WWE came to some type of agreement real quick.
Hang on. I was like, before you get there, let me say this real quick. I'm on the other side of thinking versus the Undertaker. I was hyped for the Undertaker because like we was talking about at the top of the show, one of my boys who I've been cool with for the last 25 years, he just started watching wrestling back again with his son.
He loved
and he was like, yo, he was hitting me up every day of the week. He was like, yo, is Stone Cold coming? Is Stone Cold coming? Is Stone Cold coming? I was like, bro, I don't work for WWE. I don't know.
I'm not a writer.
And so when that moment came, you know what I'm saying, when The Rock was out there, I was anticipating Stone Cold.
Right.
So when the gong hit, I was up out my seat.
That crowd is what made like chills go down my darn body, because I was like, nobody expected that.
And he has history with the Anoa'i family.
Yeah.
So it made sense, but just the wrestling fan in me and this is WrestleMania, this is the end of everything. That's what I was waiting for.
What also sold it was how Rock responded. I'm the final boss.
Yeah. I was like, okay. The
whatever you did.
The choke slam was a little weak.
I mean, but we understand why.
Rock couldn't get up.
60 years old.
Rock couldn't get up, and Taker couldn't lift him. So that is what it is. But as great as all of the shenanigans were with the Avengers, as great as all that was, the masterful storytelling of the full circle moment.
Oh my gosh!
Before all that happened, and I skipped over it on purpose.
I wanted to cry.
Seth slid in the ring with a chair and ate a Superman punch,
and was laid out. But he did what he wanted to accomplish, which was get a steel chair in the ring and be that shield.
And that's it. It doesn't matter. It don't matter what happened after that. He got a chair in the ring because he is the ultimate architect. He already knew.
I am your shield.
There is no one that was better suited to be Cody Rhodes' shield than the man that destroyed the Shield. Yep. Coming out to the music was dope. Coming out in the attire was dope. All of that pales in comparison to the chair being in the ring and Roman having a chance to
hit Cody,
finish the story, or B, do what we all would have done.
Finish the story.
Get my get back. Because I owed you. I ain't never really got you the way. Because if we look at the history of it, the chair always comes in synonymously with Roman. Seth turned on him with a chair. Yep. Sammy turned on him with a chair. Yep. The chair has always been his kryptonite. And once again, the chair when he hit Seth and Seth. Now the only thing that fell flat was Seth tried to do the rope fall that Roman did, and he didn't get to like really do it. But it's cool because you hitting Seth gave Cody all the time Cody needed to recover. Roman went to hit that spear, and Cody kicked him
to the moon.
I mean.
Yeah.
And then he hit the crossroads.
Thank you for that.
A one.
And then he picked him up and he hit another crossroads.
A two.
And this is when I was like, here comes Jacob Fatu with a super kick. Because ain't no way
I was waiting
to do this. And then he hit a third and final crossroads.
A three.
And when the referee counted 1, 2, and now this is the thing. Before you hold it up there, Ron.
No,
this is the thing that Stone Cold. This is the thing that Stone Cold hates about the Mike Tyson count, the cadence. Because Mike Tyson hit the
that motherfucker count fast.
It was dramatic. It was a 1, a 2, and then we got and I was like, Roman's gonna kick out, or the lights are gonna turn off.
We're gonna get something.
And then you heard that final 3 count and the bell.
I cried.
I was at work. I cried.
Yeah, I was at home.
Samantha pulled that out.
Dog.
And no,
here's your winner. And I was like, is she crying? Because I'm crying.
Really
TJ, you messaged us and you was like, you're not crying. I'm not crying. Y'all crying. And I was like, I sure am. I have not.
Blackout ain't cry. Blackout don't care.
Black don't care.
Blackout was in it.
But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I cried. And we're gonna wrap it up. And we're gonna wrap it up with our emotional investment in this. But I'm gonna tell you why I cried. Number one, I'm a fan of long-term story. My favorite story of all time is Sting versus the NWO. You got a full year of that. And it ties into this because one, Cody was a little stinger. Beach blonde hair. That's where the Stardust paint idea came from. Like he was a little stinger just like me. 2 years of a story, and it finally paid off fully the way it deserved to at the biggest event ever. Because the Starrcade 97 finish will always forever be the worst day in wrestling history outside of the Invasion storyline.
Yeah.
We didn't get that this time. You got an entire invested story where you did not believe that the babyface was actually going to do it, and he finally got everything that he was due. I cried because it made up for Starrcade 97 for me. Because I haven't been as invested in a long-term story since then. And then I was, and you didn't let me down, Triple H.
He did his
Thank
damn
you.
thing.
And I'm done. Y'all got it.
I mean, for me, emotionally, like I said, I'm a sucker for a great story. I'm a sucker for a good ending, and it's not just a happy ending. It's the beginning of a new chapter in his career. Like, I mean, whatever. I know we got people that say, "Oh, Cody's not the guy. Cody's not this." Hey, it is what it is. Everybody is subjective to their opinion, and hey, be rightful in what you think. That is cool. But at the end of the day, he did what he needed to do. The next era, the new era of Triple H is coming full-fledged in force, and this is probably going to be the best era in WWE history. I guarantee it, and that's not a prediction. That's a damn spoiler.
You want to go Black, or you want me to go?
No, you go ahead.
I'll go. So for me, emotionally, the whole thing started at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We all know I lost my mom when I was 18. So it was all about him telling the story to his dead parent who won't see the accolade that you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and of course, the wrestling fan in me understood WrestleMania 39, you know what I'm saying? Then when he won the Royal Rumble, I was just like, he's going to win this time. And you know what I'm saying? You put that together along with my drink of choice. I'm not even going to act like that wasn't even part of it. But I tell you what absolutely broke me. When his mom was standing there with the belt.
Yeah, with Brandy.
Was Brandy out there? She was out there?
Mm-hmm.
They showed mom standing there, and I was just like, it was over, you know what I'm saying? Because just like he said, he couldn't put it in the hands of Dusty Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Could put it in the hands of Michelle or Michael, whatever her name is. And, you know, that's how I feel, you know what I'm saying? My mom has not seen a lot of things that I've done in my life, but my dad has.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I broke down immediately.
I feel you on that, bro.
I feel you on that, bro. Like,
All right. Blackout Jones. Go ahead, brother.
First of all,
here we go. Look.
I always got me choking.
Whoa.
First of all,
You choking. Yeah.
I respect all y'all's emotions.
No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do.
Mm-hmm.
I felt every word that was said from each one of y'all. But with that being said, if it wasn't for the bloodline, who knows when I would have been back with the WWE.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's facts.
And with that, it allowed me to see the story that he wasn't able to finish to the story that he was able to finish.
What you say, like a pastor?
Along
He do.
with the caveat of The Rock coming back as well, of something that, you know, the attitude era for me, and just The Rock himself, you know what I'm saying, just for him to come back full time and to do the things that he did to not only help the story, but elevate WWE as a whole with this new era that we're in, spoke volumes. And I appreciate all of it. You know what I mean? From Bloodline to finishing the story to now, we're going to get not only the story continues, but we get in a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I love that, and I'm happy that that's the way that this went. Because if anybody listen, If you know black and you know what a Benedict Arnold is, boy, whew, Jesus.
Well, D, let me ask you, what did you think about as a whole, just to run to this amazing WrestleMania weekend?
From when?
This, like, just everything that happened from the lead up into WrestleMania week, the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania.
I think
it doesn't matter what you think.
I was waiting on it. I was like, so when I said from when, I was waiting on the. I'm like, bro, do it. I was like, where is it? Do it, nigga. But nah, genuinely though, in terms of build up and lead ups to a Mania, it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest. But I will definitely put it top 5. Because when you look at greatest, you got to look at the lead up to WrestleMania 17. Yeah. Like you have to, but not even just 17. You got to look at the lead up to WrestleMania 20 with Undertaker coming back against Kane for the first time in 6 years. The triple threat. 19.
19 was pretty decent.
19 was cool. I think with 19 there were so many matches on the card that the match carried the match and not the build. Yeah. You know, like Triple H or not Triple H Booker T hated the build. Shawn Michaels and Jericho, the build was, they had a better build in 08.
Right.
You know, Lesnar and Angle was cool, but Taker versus Big Show and 8, like there was so many matches that the match was the match. But 20, it was story. You know, Angle and Mike. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Angle and Mike, was Eddie. Angle and Eddie.
That night.
You know what I mean? Like there were so many stories that carried that. 21 was a great story because that was the ascension of Batista and Cena. And that was the greatest character work by a heel almost of all time with JBL.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you take it back to some of them before, the Mega Powers exploding, one of the greatest builds to a Mania ever. WrestleMania. So I said 17. I also want to throw in WrestleMania 15 because that was when Vince was trying his hardest to keep Austin away from The Rock and the title, like just everything he could. So I will say that in terms of everything that led up to everything, this was definitely a top 5 build all across. But there were so many pieced together matches on the card that it was like outside of the Bloodline and outside of Bayley and Io and outside of really that's it, because like with the show with the Rhea and Becky, if she don't win the Elimination Chamber, there's no build. It don't matter. You know, there was so many. So and then the 6-pack ladder match and the Pride versus so there was again. So in terms of that, I definitely got it top 5.
What about the Hogan and Giant, Andre the Giant?
Hogan and Andre, big, huge build. But it's crazy because I don't really remember anything else at 3. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember anything else in WrestleMania 3.
Like even though it was like probably the best match, the best match of WrestleMania 3, I can't remember if that was really a build though. Macho Man and Steamboat.
Well, so you know they did the build where Savage injured Steamboat, and then you know, that, you know, and for anybody watching, I'm not saying I don't remember Steamboat and Savage. I'm saying I don't remember anything else. Like I don't remember that card.
I know Harley Race was on it.
Was he?
That's all I got. Him and I think it was him and Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dang. Wow.
But besides that, no, there was
Connection versus the Magnificent Morocco and Bob Orton. Hillbilly Jim, Haiti Kid, and Lil B. Yeah. Harley Race versus Junkyard Dog. Good job, T.
Hey.
The Dream Team versus the Rougeau brothers. Roddy Piper versus Adrian Adonis. The Hair versus
the Dream Team.
The Dream Team is Greg Valentine and Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah.
Butch Reed versus Coco Beware.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man versus Jake Roberts. Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov versus the Killer Bee. So that's why, you know, now that build, now if we're talking individual builds, then I think this is probably a top 3 all-time build in terms of the main event world champion build. But in terms of everything as a whole, I think it's a top 5, top 7 WrestleMania build. But in terms of, we just talking Cody versus Roman build for 2 years, this is easily a top 5 all-time wrestling story for me.
Yeah.
I'd probably, as far as a WrestleMania build, have a top 3.
I know we're getting ready to get off.
Yes, we are.
Kofi is challenging Priest for the US for the world title during WWE's UK tour.
I guess.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he said okay, whatever.
I mean,
he's like, bye.
Yeah, like okay.
You cut us off for that?
I saw it. I just
look. We
could
have shared that. We could have shared that on Instagram.
I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, "Excuse me,
really, I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy Kofi's getting some more shine. You know, whatever.
Wait, isn't he on SmackDown?
The draft is coming. We're not gonna hold Triple H to solid rosters right now. The draft is coming. But fellas,
we're gonna talk about that on the next one because I got a question.
Oh yeah, we got a lot to cover because we got Raw after Mania to cover, SmackDown after Mania to cover. We got to talk about Stand and Deliver, and we got to talk about this madness that is AEW. You know, same BTB time, same BTB channel. Y'all already know it's your boys, the Carolina Wrestling Cartel, Trigger Trey, Blackout Jones, Mr. 211, Mr. Carlito Cannon right here. Y'all know where to follow us. Y'all have been watching it at the bottom of the screen all night.
Because we ain't saying all that.
We're not saying it all tonight. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe. When you see us out, hit us up for the pic. I actually took a pic with a fan on a cruise.
You did.
Yeah, that was really cool. We got a lot coming for season 2. We got a lot of interviews this season coming. We got a lot of content coming. There's another Beyond the Bell wrestling podcast, but guess what? They not us. They only on episode 2. We about to start tearing them up. No offense to y'all, but we've been doing this.
Y'all was doing it.
We not new to this. We true to it.
Because guess what?
What?
They'll find out who they fucking with because they fucking with the final boss. The bosses, excuse me, the bosses, final boss.
Zero, no fear over here.
The final bosses. Look, they about to get that
cease and
desist.
C&D, son.
Yeah, it's just coming.
I'll be a character witness in court. I will.
For real.
Because we about to be cooking.
Because we about this big.
They almost called me for the OJ case. Rest in peace.
All right. Rest in peace, OJ.
And look, like Caitlyn Jenner said, good riddance. Ma'am, didn't you kill somebody in a car too? Like,
exactly.
But never mind.
That doesn't count. She said natural selection was not in the process.
Like, if it was never mind, I'm not going to upset that community. Never mind. Nope. Gonna have a good night, fellas. Nope. I was about to. Nope.
Look. Peace, love, and soul.
Until we eat again.
Yeet.